on Sister Wives.
I have never done speed dating before.
Yes. So just do that when you walk in tonight.
What's your love language?
She would never let me do anything naughty. As bad as I want to do it.
Can you believe it? Kody Brown is about to be on 2 shows at once. And yes, Sister Wives is officially coming back for season 20. Just when fans thought the chaos of polygamy was behind us, the Browns are storming back into the spotlight with even more drama, heartbreak, and shocking revelations. For years, we've watched this family unravel, piece by piece. But now, the cameras are rolling again, and the whispers are louder than ever. Kody isn't just trying to patch up his crumbling image. He's chasing redemption while holding tight to money, land, and whatever scraps of control he still has left. And if that wasn't enough, word is spreading fast that he's been searching online for new wives to rebuild his empire. It feels almost surreal, because instead of closure, we're stepping into an entirely new chapter of tension, betrayal, and manipulation. Season 20 isn't about happy endings. It's about Kody trying to rewrite the story, while the women and children he pushed aside
I think I need to get
find their
out.
voices. I'm Sarah, and this is TLC's Sister Wives Daily. If you've been following this family as closely as I have, you already know things are about to explode. Make sure you hit subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned, because this is where we dig into the truth behind the cameras, and nothing is off limits. When season 18 of Sister Wives wrapped up, most fans truly believed that was it. The curtain had fallen, the family had fractured beyond repair, and there was no way TLC could squeeze another season out of the Browns. By the time season 19 aired, with its heavy focus on loss, division, and painful goodbyes, it felt like the final nail in the coffin of Kody's polygamous dream. Viewers said their goodbyes, critics speculated the franchise had finally run its course, and many thought we'd never again have to watch Kody try to spin the chaos he created into, some kind of moral lesson. But just when everyone thought the drama had died down, the bombshell dropped. Season 20 is officially happening. The shock factor can't be overstated. Fans had braced themselves for closure, only to find out the Browns are back. And this time, the timing is impossible to ignore. Because while Sister Wives prepares to hit our screens again, Kody himself is also appearing on another show. That's right, 2 shows at once. It's no coincidence. To longtime viewers, this screams exactly what it is. Kody's never-ending craving for attention and relevance. He's not stepping back from the spotlight, not even for a moment. Instead, he's doubling down, ensuring his face, his story, and his version of events stay front and center. And fans have noticed. The reactions across social media range from outrage to reluctant curiosity. Some are furious, demanding to know why TLC continues to give Kody airtime after years of manipulation, favoritism, and emotional abuse that played out on camera. Others admit, grudgingly, that the new trailer has hooked them in. As much as people despise Kody's antics, they also can't look away. Because every time you think you've seen the worst of him, he manages to surprise you with yet another display of narcissism, control, or staged self-reflection. The trailer itself gave fans plenty to chew on. Redemption dinners, emotional showdowns, tearful confrontations that look heartfelt but feel suspiciously polished for the cameras. And the biggest eyebrow raiser of all, contrived reunions where Kody sits down with the women who spent years battling his favoritism and gaslighting, as if breaking bread could somehow erase the trauma of 2 decades. It's the kind of staged closure TLC thrives on, the exact formula they've leaned into to keep fans tuning in. Heartbreak packaged as healing, dysfunction disguised as dialogue. 4. Viewers who've been with this family from the start. Season 20 feels like a bizarre mix of déjà vu and reinvention. We've seen this cycle before. Kody burns bridges, blames everyone else, and then stages moments of reconciliation for the cameras. But this time, there's something different in the air. The stakes feel higher. Not only is Kody trying to convince audiences he's changed, but he's also fighting to stay relevant in a world that has largely moved on from polygamy as entertainment. His ex-wives, Christine, Janelle, and Meri, have carved out their independence, building lives outside of his shadow. Even Robyn, once positioned as the favorite wife, is no longer untouchable. The empire has collapsed. The illusion of unity is gone. And yet here Kody is, trying to sell us on a narrative of redemption. But fans aren't buying it. Not entirely. That frustration is part of what will drive viewership. People want answers. They want to see if Kody actually takes accountability, or if this season will be yet another performance of blame shifting and victimhood. They want to know if the emotional dinners lead to anything real, or if they're just another chapter in TLC's ongoing script of dysfunction as entertainment. And maybe, just maybe, they're curious to see how far Kody will go to claw his way back into the spotlight, even if it means humiliating himself on national television again. Season 20 isn't just about the Browns anymore. It's about what the Browns represent. The downfall of a man who built his identity on control, the resilience of women who found strength in breaking free, and the fascination of an audience that, no matter how much they claim to be done, can't resist coming back for one more look. It's reality TV at its most raw, messy, and manipulative, and that's exactly why it works. So buckle up, because Season 20 isn't giving us closure. It's dragging us back into the storm, and if the trailer is any indication, it's going to be explosive. Kody Brown is calling it his redemption tour, but fans weren't so sure. In Season 20, we see him sitting down separately with Meri, Janelle, and Christine, each scene framed as if he's finally ready to own up to years of mistakes. At first glance, it looks like Kody is humbling himself, trying to rebuild what's been shattered. But the more you watch, the more it feels like a performance, a manipulation carefully timed to serve his own interests rather than theirs. Let's start with Meri. Their sit-down is tense from the moment it begins. Kody leans in with that practiced tone, half wounded, half self-righteous, and talks about regrets and missed opportunities. For Meri, this is decades in the making. She's torn between wanting to believe that her years of loyalty meant something and knowing deep down that this is the same Kody who cast her aside the moment Robyn entered the picture. His apology dances around the real pain he caused, his emotional abandonment, the way he publicly declared he had no interest in her anymore. Meri's face says it all, a mixture of hope, hurt, and deep suspicion. Then comes Janelle. And let's be clear, Janelle is not here for Kody's games. Their conversation has none of the softness we see with Meri. Instead, Janelle cuts straight through the performance, reminding him of the blowout arguments, the slammed doors, the months of radio silence. When Kody tries to paint himself as misunderstood, Janelle barely flinches. Her bluntness is a wall he can't scale. She knows too well that Kody's sudden apology lines up neatly with unresolved financial disputes over property and custody. Is he really sorry? Or is this just Kody trying to keep his grip on the narrative? And then there's Christine. Fans have been waiting for this moment. Christine, the woman who walked away, the wife who found her voice after decades of being silenced. When Kody sits across from her, there's a raw tension in the air. His words sound rehearsed, almost like he's reading from a script. No, I hurt you. I should have done better. But Christine isn't buying it. Her calm, almost serene rejection is a powerful contrast to Kody's pleading. She has nothing left to lose, nothing left to prove. She reminds him, not with anger, but with clarity, that she left because of years of neglect, years of him choosing Robyn over everyone else, years of broken promises. And in her response, fans see the truth. Christine doesn't need closure from Kody. She already found it when she walked away. When you look at the bigger picture, Kody's so-called redemption tour mirrors his behavior in past seasons. We've seen him play the victim, tear up in front of the cameras, and demand sympathy while dodging real accountability. Remember when he blamed Christine for betraying the family, all while ignoring the fact that he had emotionally abandoned her? Or when he painted Janelle as unreasonable, even as he cut her children out of his life? This pattern isn't new. It's just rebranded for Season 20. And the timing? Too convenient. These sudden apologies arrive just as custody issues and land disputes hang in the air, making fans question whether Kody is really looking for reconciliation or just trying to protect what matters most to him: control. What makes this storyline so gripping is how differently each wife responds. Meri, stuck between nostalgia and reality, wavers. Janelle, tired and resolute, rejects the manipulation outright. And Christine, she closes the door with dignity, reminding viewers that sometimes the most powerful answer is walking away. But perhaps the most telling reaction is from the audience itself. Fans have flooded social media with split reactions. Some still holding out hope that Kody has changed, others rolling their eyes at what they see as another desperate bid for sympathy. Many point out that his apologies come only when the cameras are rolling. Never in private, never without an audience. And that's the heart of the question. Tion, is this a man seeking redemption or a man staging a performance to stay relevant? Season 20 is framing Kody as a father and husband fighting for forgiveness. But when you peel back the layers, it looks more like the same old manipulation play we've seen for years, just dressed up with a new storyline. And for the wives and for fans, the answer may already be clear. Coyote Pass. For years now, those two words have carried more weight than almost anything else in the Sister Wives saga. When Kody first revealed his grand plan for this sprawling piece of land in Flagstaff, he painted it as the future. The dream property where the entire Brown family could finally come together, build their homes, and create the united legacy they were always chasing. But like so many of Kody's promises, that dream quickly turned into a battlefield. Fans will remember how the land deal dragged on season after season. What should have been a straightforward process of dividing property and securing financing became a never-ending cycle of excuses, delays, and drama. And right at the center of so much of that tension, Robyn Brown. She often spoke about fairness, about making sure everyone had a voice, but at the same time, she conveniently dragged her feet when it came to signing important paperwork. In Season 20, TLC is doubling down on the Coyote Pass storyline, framing it as a dramatic standoff over money, power, and the illusion of equality. The previews already show Kody once again lecturing the wives about the vision, as though his dream still has life, while the women sit across from him with that mix of exhaustion
I
and
think I need to get
skepticism
out.
that fans know all too well. For Janelle and Christine, the land has become symbolic. It's no longer about building a future there. It's about Kody's endless ability to stall progress whenever it benefits him. And let's be honest, Kody has always us at Coyote Pass as a bargaining chip, a tool to maintain control. Every time the family seemed to move forward, he'd pull the land issue back onto the table. He'd remind them of the shared dream, tie finance together, and force conversations that kept the wives tethered to him, even when they wanted to walk away. Season 20 exposes this tactic all over again, but this time, the women aren't playing along. Robyn's role in this showdown is especially telling. In past seasons, she portrayed herself as the reasonable one, the wife who just wanted fairness. But fairness, for Robyn, has often meant holding the cards just long enough to tip the balance in her favor. By delaying, by questioning, by hesitating on those legal signatures, she kept the entire family in limbo. And while she was stalling, her household with Kody continued to grow more secure, more stable, and more financially prioritized. Now, with Season 20 positioning Coyote Pass as a centerpiece of conflict, viewers are seeing through the smoke and mirrors. This isn't about land, it never really was. It's about money, control, and Kody's refusal to let go of the dream that kept everyone under his thumb. It's about Robyn's carefully curated role as the fair wife, while her actions consistently benefited her and Kody's household. And it's about the other wives finally breaking free from the manipulation, calling it out for what it always was, a stalling tactic to keep them tied to Kody's failing empire. What makes this storyline so compelling is how much history weighs on it. Coyote Pass has always symbolized the family's future, but in reality, it's the graveyard of their unity. The longer it dragged on, the more obvious it became that there would never be a happy ending here. By the time Season 20 rolls around, the land is no longer a promise, it's a wound. And when the cameras capture those dramatic standoffs over who gets what, viewers aren't just watching a real estate dispute, they're watching the final collapse of Kody's dream, the empire he swore he would build. The showdown is going to be raw, emotional, and for fans, almost cathartic. Because after years of watching Kody twist and stall, the truth is finally on full display. Coyote Pass was never about family. It was always about control. If there's one person who refuses to let go of the dream of plural marriage, it's Robyn Brown. Even as Kody has spent the last several seasons calling polygamy repulsive and blaming it for destroying his family, Robyn clings to the idea that somehow, someday, the Brown family will be repaired. She has said on camera that she still believes in the principle, that she married into this lifestyle with the expectation of sisterhood, and that losing it has left her broken. But if viewers look closely, her words don't always match her reality, because even as she cries over the loss of family unity, she continues to sit at the head of the table with Kody, enjoying the position of being the last wife standing. This is where season 20 takes a strange turn. For years, fans have heard Kody declare that polygamy nearly destroyed him, that it was toxic, unfair, and impossible to manage. He even told cameras that it wasn't worth it, and swore he'd never put himself through that kind of chaos again. But now, the whispers are back. In teasers, in online rumors, even in small hints woven into the show, there are suggestions that Kody is entertaining new women, potential wives found through online interactions. It's a contradiction so glaring that fans can't help but ask, is this about faith, or is it about keeping himself and the show in the spotlight? Robyn's role in this storyline is complicated. On one hand, she appears to still dream of rebuilding a plural family, the kind she idealized when she first joined the Browns. She talks about missing the camaraderie of sister wives and seems almost desperate to convince the world, and maybe herself, that she didn't help destroy the family he once wanted so badly. On the other hand, cracks are starting to show. Viewers have noticed her frustration with Kody, her weariness at being his sole emotional caretaker, and her increasing realization that life with him alone is not the fairy tale she imagined. If Kody does bring in new wives, Robyn will no longer be the favorite by default. She risks losing the security and control she's held for more than a decade. But is this storyline even real? That's the question so many fans are asking. After all, Sister Wives has shifted from documenting polygamy to manufacturing drama around Kody's ongoing failures. The idea of Kody suddenly seeking new women, after years of railing against polygamy, feels suspiciously convenient. It gives producers a hook, something shocking to keep viewers tuned in for season 20. Without it, the show risks becoming a repetitive cycle of arguments over land and failed apologies, bringing in the possibility of new wives injects suspense, whether or not it's grounded in reality.
I think I need to get out.
And then there's the fan reaction, which is perhaps the most telling of all. Across social media, people laugh at the very idea of women lining up to join Kody Brown's fractured household. After watching his years of gaslighting, favoritism, and financial mismanagement, fans struggle to believe anyone would voluntarily step into that mess. As one fan put it bluntly, you'd have to be out of your mind to want Kody Brown as a husband. Another joked that the only thing Kody could offer a new wife is screen time on TLC. These reactions aren't just jokes. They underscore how far Kody's reputation has fallen since the early seasons, when the Browns presented themselves as a united, if unconventional family. Still, for Kody, the attention may be enough. Whether or not any new wives actually appear, the storyline allows him to posture as a man in demand, someone still relevant and central to the show's narrative. For Robyn, it provides an opportunity to reaffirm her belief in plural marriage while masking the fact that she's stuck in a monogamous marriage with, think back to those early seasons. The Browns were introduced as a family deeply committed to one another, ready to fight stigma, legal battles, and personal sacrifice in order to prove that plural marriage could be about love and shared responsibility. There were genuine moments of laughter, big family dinners, road trips, and dreams of building a future together on that mythical piece of land in Flagstaff. Fans tuned in not just out of curiosity, but because there was a sense of hope. An idealistic belief that these people were truly trying to live something extraordinary. Fast forward to season 20, and what do we see? No shared dinners, no joint family celebrations, no visible efforts to bridge divides. Instead, we get sit-down reunion scenes that feel painfully orchestrated. We see apologies made at carefully chosen moments. We hear accusations and counter-accusations tossed back and forth. And more than anything, we see a man, Kody Brown, grasping at any scrap of attention he can get. Because without this show, his voice, his control, and his financial stability all but disappear. The tragedy is that the very heart of the family, the children, barely factor into these storylines anymore. Where are the meaningful conversations about healing the damage done to relationships with sons like Garrison and Gabriel, who suffered the most from Kody's choices during the pandemic? Where is the accountability for the years of favoritism toward Robyn, which drove an unfixable wedge between the original three wives and their kids? Instead of grappling with those real wounds, We get manufactured family dinners and a hollow redemption narrative. It's TV drama first, healing last, if healing is even on the table at all. And it's not just the wives who look weary. Fans are exhausted too. Social media is filled with comments asking why these women would keep sitting down with a man who's shown time and again that his apologies rarely stick. Others question the authenticity of what's on screen. Is this truly happening, or are the producers prodding everyone into one last ride for the sake of ratings? Because let's be honest, without conflict, there's no show. And without the show, there's no paycheck. That cycle keeps spinning, and it keeps the Browns tied to one another in ways that feel more financial than familial. Kody himself has admitted in past seasons that polygamy feels like a burden, even repulsive. Yet suddenly, season 20 is peppered with whispers of him talking to new women online. Does that sound like a man searching for spiritual fulfillment? Or does it sound like a man and a network trying to extend the drama for another season or two, no matter how implausible it seems? Fans certainly aren't buying it. The common refrain is disbelief. Disbelief that anyone would willingly enter into Kody's crumbling empire. Disbelief that his words can still be taken seriously. Disbelief that Sister Wives has anything authentic left to offer. At its core, season 20 shines a harsh light on just how far things have fallen. Once upon a time, Sister Wives tried to sell an image of unity and faith under one roof. Now, it's a reality show about a broken marriage, or rather, several broken marriages, and a man whose need for validation outweighs his responsibilities as a husband and father. The focus has shifted entirely from exploring plural marriage to showcasing its fallout. And somewhere in the process, the Browns stopped being a family and became a spectacle. And that's the biggest tragedy of all. Because underneath the staged dinners, the financial squabbles, and the endless talk of redemption, there are real people hurting. There are kids who've watched their parents implode on national television. There are women who've lost decades of their lives to a man who only ever seemed to invest in one wife. And there's a patriarch who, instead of taking ownership, has chosen to cling to the cameras like a lifeline. As season 20 unfolds, it feels less like the continuation of a story and more like the last gasps of a show running on fumes. Whether fans keep watching out of loyalty, morbid curiosity, or pure disbelief, one thing is clear. Sister Wives isn't about building a family anymore. It's about holding on to relevance, one staged confrontation at a time. The closer we look at season 20, the harder it is to ignore what's really happening here. On the surface, it looks like a redemption tour. Kody Brown, suddenly humbled, suddenly reflective, suddenly apologizing, wants us to believe this is a man making amends. But if you peel back the layers, you can see the same patterns he's repeated for years. It's not about healing. It's about saving face, protecting what's left of his reputation, and keeping the cameras rolling so the paychecks don't dry up. Think about it. If Kody really wanted redemption, his focus would be on his children. The ones who stood up to him, who begged for his attention, who got the brunt of his anger when they pushed back against his favoritism toward Robyn. Instead, what do we see? We see staged sit-downs with his ex-wives, filmed in picture-perfect settings, carefully edited to look like breakthroughs. It's the illusion of growth without the substance of change. And where does that leave the women of Sister Wives? Christine has already stepped into her freedom with strength and clarity. She isn't looking back, and she isn't entertaining Kody's half-baked apologies. Janelle, as always, sees through the performance. She's blunt, she's steady, and she's refusing to let him rewrite history. Meri, torn as ever, is caught between wanting closure and realizing she'll never truly get it from him. And then there's Robyn, clinging to the dream of a plural family, even as she sits in the wreckage of it, isolated in the home she once believed would make her queen of the castle. This is where Sister Wives has landed. The once groundbreaking series that pulled viewers in with promises of showing a united, functioning polygamist family is now a shell of its former self. Instead of shared dinners and cooperative parenting, we're watching orchestrated confrontations and financial squabbles dressed up as high drama. The producers know the family's bonds have collapsed, so they manufacture scenes to keep the tension alive. Kody, desperate to stay on television, plays along because being relevant, even as a villain, is better than fading into obscurity. But here's the truth. Fans are seeing more clearly than ever. The authenticity is gone. What's left are apologies without accountability, reunions without healing, and storylines that feel stitched together out of necessity. And that raises the ultimate question. Are fans buying into this anymore, or are they just watching to witness the train wreck play out? As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Season 20 isn't the redemption story Kody wants it to be. It's a cautionary tale. It shows us what happens when pride, control, and the hunger for attention take priority over love, family, and real connection. Kody may still be fighting to prove he's the man who can hold it all together, but the truth is the family has already walked away. And no amount of staged dinners or dramatic land disputes can change that. So now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Kody's apologies this season are genuine, or do you think they're just another attempt to manipulate the narrative and keep his grip on the spotlight? Are you invested in season 20, or are you watching simply to see how far this story can fall apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I always love hearing your perspectives. If you're new here, I'm Sarah, and this is TLC's Sister Wives Daily. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a breakdown. We've got plenty more to unpack as the season unfolds, and believe me, the drama is just getting started.